and Nate. Hello, hello. Please, can you all hear me? Please drop a comment in the chat box. Let me know if you all could hear me. Okay, you all could hear me, right? All right. So we are starting our class now. I just need to confirm if everyone can actually hear me very, very well. All right. You all could hear me again. Like you guys can't hear me again. Can you all hear me, please? We can. I want to know, please. I don't want to jump into class and at the end of the day, nobody is hearing me. Okay. So I believe every one of you could hear me talk. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Good evening. You all are welcome. If you have any of your friend that is not in this class, please tell them to join the class now because once I start, I'm not going to go back. Please, Miracle, please drop a message on the what's called Telegram group. Anyone that is not here right now should join because I'm not going to be dropping the recording section for this class tonight. And it's strictly by attendance. Like I said earlier on the group, only the few people that actually join us are going to continue to the next stage. So please inform anyone that is not here right now to actually join because I will be kickstarting this class now and I'm not going to wait for anyone at all. So tonight is going to be very, very what's called powerful because there's a whole lot to learn tonight. I'm going to pour everything I know tonight, everything you guys need to know tonight. So I hope everyone is with their pen and your jotters and your learning spirit. So if you have any questions, as usual, I will be taking questions after the class. So as I teach, if you have any questions, just um, drop them in the comment section. And or no, don't drop them in the comments. Just note them down in your notepad. So after the class, I can then answer questions directly. So for now, um, I'm going to be sharing my screen right now for you guys to actually see um, what we'll be doing tonight. So you all are welcome. The class is not recorded. The class is not recorded. I'm not recording this class. The class is not recorded. So if you did not join, that's all. And I'm going to mark attendance at the end of the class. I intentionally didn't drop the attendance now. It's only those that stay to the end. That's when I'm going to drop the attendance what's called sheet. And the funniest thing, the attendance we are using today, we are going to build the attendance on this call. Yeah, we're going to build the attendance on this call. Hold on, guys. Sorry, we're going to build the attendance on this call. So um, I'm starting now. Please just confirm if you can actually see my screen. Please confirm if you could see my screen. Please let me know if you guys can see my screen right now. Can you all see my screen? All right. All right. All right. So, I'm going to be presenting right now, and okay. So, you guys should just give me a few minutes, please. Let me sort out something. So, you all are welcome tonight. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to day two of the boot camp. We were supposed to hold this class yesterday, but due to one or two reasons, the class couldn't hold. So that's why we are having it today. So I welcome you all to day two. You can't see my screen as how my screen is visible. My voice is not louder as how. Please, if you can't hear me, I'm using my microphone right now. I'm not even using my system inbuilt mic. I'm using a microphone. So if you can't hear me, please kindly exit the live stream and join the live stream again. If you can't hear me clearly. And please make sure you can. Okay, my voice is loud and clear. Fine, fine and good. Someone said my voice is loud and clear. Um so the class is not going to be recorded and there's no slide. That's why I have to be in this class. So sorry, I just coming back from work, but I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it's going to be bigger. I'm going to expand it. I'm going to expand what's called. Okay, can you all see my screen right now? Like the bigger parts, the bigger parts, the bigger parts. Can you all see the full screen now? It's blurry. Oh, wow. So I'm going to start this class now. There is no much time to actually waste because I'm having a meeting immediately after this class. So you all are welcome to day two, like I said earlier. So in our previous class, it was all about understanding what automation really means and why automation is actually such a powerful skill for you to learn. And if you could remember in our last class, I talked about how why automation is a good career to go into and why you actually need to learn about AI automation. I defined what automation is. I think I talked deeper on what you need to know about AI automation. So tonight we are diving deeper into um, one of the favorite tools I love the most, and I think one of the favorite tools that people in the automation space use, which is anything. So tonight is going to be very, very practical. If you actually miss, or yours is your own. So today we'll be diving deep into anything. Now, not because this most of you pronounce it as anything. It's not anything. It's actually anything. My video is on portraits. How? My video can't be on portraits. Like, please, kindly Miracle, is my video on portrait or landscape? So can you all see my screen now? Please kindly confirm if you all could actually see my screen now. I need to know, please. Okay, so it's better, right? All right, since it's better, I think it's time for us to um continue. You guys should give me a minute. I'm coming. Trying to switch screen. So let's start. Like I said today, we are going deeper into what anything is. Please, Miracle, whenever my voice is shaking or there's any issue with the live stream, please just send me a message on WhatsApp. I'll be able to respond very, very well. So, what exactly is automation? So tonight we're going to learn what anything is and what are the benefits of using anything as an automation tool. And you also learn the difference between what a workflow is, automations, and also an AI agent. And you also learn how to create your anything account and we'll be able to explore the interface of the anything. And also, we are going to be building a real practical workflow from the beginning tonight. So, if you are here, you must make sure you stay to the end so that you won't miss out anything. So, now let's start with the basic questions that a lot of you will actually ask. That's what exactly is anything? What is anything? What exactly is anything? What exactly is anything? Now, anything is actually just a tool. Anything is a tool. At Zapier is also a tool on its own. Anything is a tool that allows you to connect different apps together. Still blurry. I don't understand. Please, you guys are giving me headache. Oh. Please, if your screen is blurry or you can't hear me, please just exit and join the class again. If your screen is blurry, just exit and join the class again. So this one, you are saying that my screen is blurry. I don't understand. All right, so let's continue. What exactly is anything and why exactly are we using anything? Now, anything is a node code automation tool that connects your app so they work together automatically to help you save time, reduce error, and make system run while you sleep. So now anything is just a tool that helps you connect different apps together. And ensure that they all work automatically without you touching anything. Now, you can think of anything like this. Let's say you have a Google form where people submit data and a Google Sheet where you store their info, and also a Gmail where you have to send them a thank you message automatically. Normally, you will have to do all these things by yourself. You have to open the form, copy their name, paste it into the sheet, and then send them email one by one. But one thing is, anything has made these things very easier for us because anything connect these apps together. Google Form, Google Sheet, Gmails, everything connected together, and it all runs automatically. You all know what a circuit is, an electric wire in a circuit. You all know how connected both is. And when you switch on your light, it works. And when you switch it off, it goes off. Now, all this switching on of light and switching off of light, if you notice, if you don't connect these wires together, will it work? It won't work. So that's what anything helps us do all these things together. It helps us make all these steps happen automatically. That means the moment someone fill a form, a Google form, it's been uploaded to your Google Sheet, and maybe you want to send them a welcome message or anyone. So when one is switched on, some like filling the form, everything else flows automatically. Just you just need something to trigger it for it to actually continue. Now, I want you to picture it like this. Imagine you have a business or you have a job or you work in a factory. Now, you have in your factory, you have Gmail, you have Google Sheets, you have WhatsApp, and you have Notion. Now, all these tools are workers in your factory, right? Now, each worker is doing their job alone. They don't talk to each other. Now, anything is just like a supervisor. In each factory, any factory you go, there's always a supervisor that monitors whatever is going in that particular factory, that give instructions on anything that is going in that particular factory. Now, each worker in that factory, and remember what are our workers? Our workers are like Gmail, Google Sheets, WhatsApp, and Notion. So anything is just like a supervisor that stands in the middle and say, hey Gmail, when a new message comes in, tell Google Sheets to record it. Remember, he's our supervisor. He's giving instruction to Gmail that when a new message comes in, Gmail, record it to our Google Sheets. Hey, Google Sheets, whenever Gmail record anything in your sheet and someone is added, make sure you inform WhatsApp to send a message. That's just it. It is that simple. Anything is the supervisor that is making sure all these things happens. Gmail, whenever someone send you a message, tell Google Sheets to record it. And Google Sheets, whenever someone is added to your what's called to any column or anything, tell WhatsApp to send them a welcome message. It is that simple. So anything is not replacing your tool, anything is not replacing Gmail, anything is not replacing Google Sheets, but it's just making your work easier by connecting all these tools together so that you won't have to stress yourself. Imagine the number of hours, imagine the number of time you will spend when someone fills a form and you have to copy their names, copy everything they filled in the form, record it in the Google Sheet, and send them a message manually. How many hours? Imagine you have about 500 leads. How many people will you be able to reach in a day? How many details can you copy in a day? But anything comes to make everything easier for us. It connects all these tools. Gmail is a node, Google Sheet is a node, WhatsApp is a node, Telegram is a node, Notion is a node. Talk of any other tools, Zoho CRM is a node. Anytime connect things, these things together. All these things works independently. We need to find a way that we need to connect them together so that they could be able to communicate with each other. Is someone following me? I need to know if anyone, if the analogy I'm making is actually making sense. So we need to find a way to make sure that all these apps actually works together. Now, so how does it work? How does this thing actually work? It works by what we call a node. Anything has node, which are the building blocks of every automation. Nodes are building blocks of every automation. Now, each node performs one action. A node can receive a data, another node can send an email, another node can save it to a database. You just connect them visually like drawing a flow. That's what we call That's why we are calling it a workflow. A workflow is a combination of all your connected nodes that you are having. Without node, we can't have a workflow. And without workflow, we can't have an automation. The nodes we are trying to connect together is what is actually making these things to function, is what is making our automation to function. And the beautiful part is you don't need to learn how to code. You don't need to learn how to code. You just drag, connect, and run it. And if you want to later add some complex logic or AI, anything can also handle that too. It's just like, one thing anything is just like a small kid or all these nodes that are connecting together. You know, a child will always grow to become an adult if you train it right. Or someone that is learning automation now, there will be a time when you are going to become a professional. You don't just become a professional in a day. So now, this node, the way they work is you have to connect them. The more complex, the more what's called automation you want to run, the more nodes you are going to use. There are some automation that you might not use more than 4 nodes. And there's some automation. If I don't know if some of you have seen some crazy anything automation, you see like 50 nodes connected. And one thing is, all this node has their own function. Like I said earlier, maybe node A can be to send data, node B can be to send email, node C can be to send notification, node D can be to do something, node E can be to download data. All these node has their own function. When we get to the interface, you'll be able to understand everything I'm trying to explain about all this node. Yeah, someone said just like Nigeria map. Yes, everyone's all states connect together by something. So that's just how nodes works. I hope it's very easy for you guys to understand. You guys actually understand my what's called because I'm trying to break it down. I don't want anyone to be left behind. That even if a 10-year-old is in this class, you'll be able to understand everything I'm about to say here. Now, why are we using anything? What exact reason? Why exactly are we using anything? There are a lot of tools out there. A lot of tools out there. Zapier is there. Make.com is here. A lot of automation tools that I can even mention. Recently, ChatGPT, OpenAI just introduced their own AI agent, agentic AI. So all of them are there. But why anything? Why anything? Why do I think that anything is the best tool for you to learn? Number one, it saves your time. It saves your time. Now, you know, Remember how many times you have to spend a day automating repetitive work? Okay, let's say you work in a company as a secretary, and every day when people comes to buy stuffs in your company, they have a form they have to fill. And once they fill that form, imagine how many hours daily you have to spend copying all your customers' data into a Google Sheet. Or you even want to send them a reminder message that, thank you for patronizing us. Thank you for doing this. Imagine the hours you have to spend doing all these things. Or you want to move a Google Sheet from another sheet to a separate sheet. See, if something happens again and again, you don't need to do it manually. That's one thing about automation. Someone like me, I don't like anything that will stress my life. I don't want anything that will stress my life. If there's actually where I can, in fact, this boot camp, just because I needed to teach, because I when I assuming I wanted to automate this boot camp, I can automate it. I'll just record it and just upload it, and you guys would watch live. But I decided not to automate it because I believe when I teach and people are actually there, I just flow. I flow. But if I'm recording, I might not really flow much like that. I'll just go straight to the point. But if people are here, I'll be able to flow very, very well because I believe people are actually watching me, people are listening to me. So if there's something you do manually, you can just teach anything once and it does it for you forever. It's just like you hiring a robot assistant that never sleeps. That even if someone fills a form in the midnight that you are sleeping, because I know a lot of you sleep a lot, that you are sleeping, anything will work for you. Let's say I am running an ad on Facebook. Now, each time someone fills a form on my website, whether it's 10 a.m., whether it's 2 a.m. in the midnight, anything will make sure that everyone that fill that form are saved to my Google Sheet or whatever. Please, it's not only Google Sheet you can store it to. There are a whole lot of CRM. Recently, I just this recently I was working with SharePoint CRM. So there are a lot of CRMs platform that you can store it, not only Google Sheet. I'm just trying to use Google Sheet for you guys to understand what I mean. So anything can actually helps you store these leads in your CRM platform, send them a thank you email, and they get onboarded. Instead of you spending 10 minutes every time, anything does it for you. In fact, in 1 3 seconds, while you are sleeping, your system is working for you, working smart. That's automation. That's automation. Now, it's also the second one known is it reduces human error. Now, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah, SharePoint is under Microsoft. It's under Microsoft environment. Now, let's be honest. You can forget to follow up. You can forget to reply message. There are some times that on WhatsApp, I want to reply a message now, and I just something just came in, maybe a call came in. I can forget to even go back to that message unless that person sends a reminder again. Human are prone to errors. We can never do something have without making a mistake. But automations never forget. As long as you train your automation very, very well, it will do exactly what you ask it to do every single time. If you ask it that anyone, someone fill this form, send them a thank you message. Automation is going to do exactly like that. It's not going to do what you did not ask him to do. It won't do what you did not train him to do. He's working based on what you've trained him to do. He's working based on the data you've provided for him. He's working based on the node you have connected together. And that's just how it works. Even if he did it for the first person, 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000%, it will do it exactly the way you want it to be without any error. That's the power of automation. And one thing I love about anything is it is open source and very, very affordable. Most automation tools that most people use, Zapier, Make.com, will ask you to pay once your task increases. But anything is open source. What do I mean by open source? The code is public. Anyone can edit and even host it for free on your own computer or your VPS server. You don't need to pay anybody to host to work with anything. But Zapier, you have to pay. Make.com, you have to pay. So it's just like you owning anything is just like you owning your own car every day instead of you boarding Uber every day. You can host your car yourself. You can brand your car how you wish it to be, and even build your car the way you want it to be. If you like, if you remove the seat way there inside and say now only front seat you want inside your car, now you sabi. As long as it's your own. But Zapier, you don't have any control over what um you have to do. I'm not saying that anything is free. I'm just saying that if you wish to host it on anything server, you have to pay. If you wish to host it on anything server, you have to pay. But if you want to use a VPS server, there are some VPS servers that are going to give a year free. There's Ocean, there's Google, what's called Google hosting. I think they give up to $300 credit for you to host or anything, and you can even pay of on any VPS hosting server. There's hosting jar, you can pay as low as 8,900 to host, and you can even host it on your own computer for free. That's using Docker. You can host it on your own computer for free. So, in fact, I ever since I've been, I don't even have a personal anything account. I have like 3 4 accounts that I use. That it was my clients that I've worked for, because when you begin working for clients, they're going to provide you. Some clients will actually provide you with their own VPS hosted anything account. So most, in fact, for the past clients I've been working with, most of them used to provide what's called their own VPS hosting. So I don't even worry about if I need anything account now. It's very easy for me to even get. I can use Ocean to get a 1 year free trial, 1 year hosting for free. So anything is just like there is a whole lot of place to even host it for free. And if you are using GitHub, GitHub can even if you have a student account, let's say you have a student email from your school, you can even use GitHub student what's called to host your anything for a year for free. But Zapier, you can't host Zapier except on their own what's called server. I'm not saying that you can't use Zapier, but you can use Zapier if you can afford the cost. But when you start making money, cost isn't an issue for you. If someone would tell me that a few months ago I'll be able to pay for ChatGPT's premium subscription, I'll actually lie, because I always have this mentality that um the free version will give me everything I want. But bro, since I started paying for the pro version of ChatGPT, I've been getting a whole lot of premium access. So when you start making money, all these tools won't even feel like any issue to you. You'll be able to pay for them because you feel like how much is it? Do I want to pay? How much is it? So it won't be any issue for you. So now let's continue. And I don't want to waste much time on. Let me just rush through. And also, anything works with AIs and APIs. It works perfectly with any AI tools. It can talk with Open AI. It can talk with ChatGPT. It can talk with Gemini. Any API you can actually imagine. You can build any AI power workflow using anything. You can even build a full customer support running without you or you typing anything. So anything isn't just for automating tasks. You can actually use it to build AI apps, AI agents that helps you work faster. I hope everyone is following me. I hope everyone is following me. Now, Zapier make an anything. Why do I think anything is the best thing to learn? Why do I think anything is the best? So why do I think N10 is the best thing for you to learn now? Because I know a lot of you asking questions. They are either to Zapier, Make.com, all this kind of stuff. Where exactly are we focusing on anything? Because understanding these parts will actually make you think like a real AI automation builder, not just someone who follows tutorials or just spam out random videos. Now, let me give you a simple picture that you never forget. Imagine you are traveling from Lagos to Abuja. Let me not use Abuja. Let me use my hometown. Imagine you are traveling from Ibadan to Lagos. You have three ways to go. Either you go by taxi or yeah, you can go by motorcycle. I know a lot of people that used to go to Lagos by motorcycle. Or you go by your own personal car. Now, remember we said we have three ways you can go to Lagos. You can go by a taxi, that's you going to the garage to board a car at the garage or park where you board cars to travel, or you can drive a motorcycle, right? Or your own personal car. Now, Zapier is just like you entering a taxi. You pay for each trip, you sit down in the car, and the driver takes you there. It's very, very easy. You can't control the car. Just stay your destination and pay. You know when you want to travel now, do you tell the driver that driver, I don't want you to pass this route, pass this place first before and then we'll now go and pass. No, you can't tell driver where you want because you're not the only one in that car. It's only where driver want to pass through, that's where he wants to pass through. So just imagine Zapier is just like that particular car. You tell it where you are going, you make your payment, and it takes your destination. You can't control the car. Make.com is just like you driving a motorcycle. You have more control, you can take shortcuts, but you must balance yourself, hold your what's called the bike handle very well, and you must be able to understand how traffic works. And it's more faster and more flexible than Zapier. Now, anything, anything is just like you driving your own car. You can go anywhere. You can decide that okay, when I reach so place, I'm going to stop. I'm not going again. You can customize your own car. You can even repaint your own car. All you need to know is just learn how you can drive. Once you learn how can you drive, you are good to go. But just learn how you can drive so that you won't go and jam people on the road. You are completely in charge. You can save money long time. In fact, you own your car. If you like, when you're going on the road, carry people on the road. You are the one in charge. That's the main difference. They are all see. One thing is they are all doing the same thing. They are all doing the same thing. But it's just that the only difference is the level of control, flexibility, and cost is the only difference. That's the only difference between the three. The level of control, the flexibility, and the cost is only the difference. Now, let me talk about Zapier. Remember, I said Zapier is a taxi. Zapier is one of the most odious and most popular automation tool in the world. It's very one thing why most people go for Zapier is that it's beginner friendly. You can even do an automation within 15-20 minutes, you are done. Now, this is how Zapier works. When someone fills a Google form and you send them an email, that is one zap. That is one zap. So Zapier is perfect for beginners, those that are small business owners who want to just um automate without learning too much. But why I don't like Zapier is that Zapier charges per tax. Means every action you perform on Zapier, you have to pay for it. So if 1,000 people fill your form, Zapier counts that 1,000 tax as 1,000 zaps, and you have to pay for it. And Zapier doesn't give you full control. If you want to do something advanced like connecting to an API or using some AI logic, it's actually very limited. And you don't have to, like anything now, if I don't want something, I can actually use my code node and just code it. I'm done. Zapier is sweet at the beginning, but very expensive as it grows. But you see, make.com, which is our motorcycle, it's more visible and more flexible than Zapier. You can see your entire workflow like a map, and each bubble is connected to another bubble on what's called on make.com. You can even branch, you can make complex workflows on what's called on make.com, social media posting, marketing automation, CRMs, blah blah blah. But still yet make it still a bit expensive when you start doing large volumes. And also, when you start connecting large APIs or working with AI logics, you have to require some extra setup or some extra modules for it. Another challenge is that make.com only runs on their own server. You can't self-host make.com. If their system goes down today, your workflow is going down. You can't fix it. You just have to wait. You don't have control over it. So make.com is actually very good. But the only issue is you don't own your system. It's just like you renting a house at Lekki, but you know you don't own it. It's very beautiful, but not for you. You don't have any control over it. They can be landlord can come to there and say, I don't want you in my house again. Leave. And that's just it. But anything is a private car, you own it. It's open source. You can, like I said earlier, you can host it on your own computer. You can host it on your VPS. In fact, if you are working in a company and your company is using VPS hosting, you can even host it there. You're not renting it. You own your automation. You own your automation. You're the kind of person that want full control over what you are building. You don't want anybody to interfere on your data. You can actually go for anything. You can go for anything because anything gives you freedom of ownership. You don't have to rent anything. Very, very flexible. Very, very flexible. API friendly. Very, very cheap. Very, very, very cheap. So I hope you guys are following me. Please let me know. Let me know if you guys are following me. Let me know if you guys are following me. Let me know if you guys are actually following me. Drop it in the comments. Let me know if you guys are following me right now. Okay, 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 okay. So now, there's something I tell everyone because there's a lot of questions that most people asked. In fact, I was when I started my automation career, I was also confused. What exact tool should we learn first? Everyone has what they want. If you decide that one thing is seriously, if you know how to use anything, there's no any automation tool that you won't know how to use. If I want to use Zapier today, I know my there was a time I was doing an automation and it was giving me some difficult time. I was like, okay, let me text Power Automate. Don't know maybe any one of you have heard of Power Automate before. It's actually for Microsoft. I was like, let me test Power Automate and see if it's going to give me what I want. And I've never used Power Automate before. That was my first time of knowing about Power Automate. I built my workflow. It didn't even give me any difficulty or what's called. So if you want to start just as a user, start Zapier. If you want any, I don't know. See, just pick the one. I don't advise people to pick any tool so that I'm not discriminating. But if I feel like anything is the best, that's just it. Because most people that are using Zapier are even one thing is if you know how to use a tool, I swear to God, using the other one is not going to be hard for you. The only thing is Don't learn these three tools at once. You are going to stay confused and you won't even know what next to do. Pick one. Once you are good with that one, if you want to start with anything, start with anything. Once you are professional, you are good with anything. Other platforms. If you want to start with Zapier, start with Zapier. Once you are good with it, move to other platforms. It's fine and good. You don't even have any issues with that. So I don't see any question of which one should I learn first. Anyone you think that actually works for you, learn it first. So now that we have talked about what anything is, we've compared it with other tools and like Zapier and Make.com. Now, before we start building, because we are diving into practical right now, I want you to understand something very clearly because once you understand this thing, it's going to separate you from 90% of automation beginners out there. And what exactly this thing is. Because in every automation, there are three frameworks, three level of automation: the workflow, the automations, and AI agents. Now, if you mix these three words together, you'll be confused. But if you understand the difference, you'll be able to build automation. You won't be able to explain automation to what a 10-year-old can understand. Now, let me start with workflow. A workflow is simply a step by step process that defines what what's best definition can I give it? Okay, that define how something should happen. Now, if you want to cook, if you want to cook, let's say you want to cook jollof rice, um, what's it called smoky jollof rice. You have your rice, you have your pepper, you have your seasoning, your pot, your gas cooker, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Now, if you want to cook jollof rice, now what's the first process you have to do? Wash your rice, boil your pepper mix, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Add seasoning, then pour rice into the pot and stir. That is a step by step order on how you can actually cook what's called jollof rice. Now, that exact step by step is what is called a workflow. Now, think of that place where you are cooking it. That's anything. Anything is your own kitchen. The workflow are the ingredients, the step by step process you use to cook before it became a jollof rice. Where you are cooking it is your kitchen, and your kitchen is your anything. Workflow is a step by step process that you use to build anything, and where you are building it is your kitchen, which is anything. Where you are building it is your kitchen, it can be Zapier. Where you are building it is your kitchen, it can be Make.com. Whatever kitchen you are using, that's what workflow is. It. So, in simple English, a workflow is how something will happen. It's not only yet. It's just a blueprint of what is going to happen. Now, if I connect a Google Form, a Google Sheet, and a Gmail, if I don't run it, it won't run. But all the connection I have done, it's a workflow. It's a workflow. I hope you guys understand. Now, what is automation? I've defined what automation is. I said in my previous class, I talked about automation, how it helps you save time. Now, in this analogy, remember our workflow is the recipe, recipe or whatever. I'm not an English student. I beg. So now your workflow is the recipe or recipe. Yeah. Now, automation is when the food starts cooking automatically without you touching anything. If you okay now, after you've boiled your pepper mix, fried your pepper, stuff like that, you pour your rice into it. Will you go and sit down and be what's called and be how would I want what can I even say? Sef? You know, that food will cook automatically without you doing anything Or will you be the one to cook the rice? You're not the one to cook the rice. Just pour everything and let it do what it wants to do. So let's go back to my own jollof example. Now, imagine you press your own gas cooker. The rice washes itself, the ingredients jump in, and the food cook by itself. That is automation. In tech, it means you've connected your workflow to a trigger. What is a trigger? A trigger is something that tells it when to start automatically. Your trigger can be different. When we get to the interface, you understand what I mean by a trigger. Your trigger can be when someone submit a form, start this thing. Your trigger can be when you activate your workflow. Your trigger can be this. Your trigger can be anyone. Do you know that? Okay, how many of you know Olushola on IG, a very popular finance and business coach on IG? Now, even if it's not even only IG, if you go to all these IGs that they will tell you, if you want this particular thing, drop a DM, and you see them reply to over 5,000 people. Do you think they are the one replying to all those messages, all those comments? They're the one replying. They have automated everything. When you drop that particular word, pam, it will trigger that workflow and it will send you a DM to your Instagram DM or even Facebook. You don't even know how the magic happens, because I know most of you even feel like, "Ah, I drop a comment on someone Instagram within 1 minute I already got a DM." That's automation. You're not there. If maybe when you drop that comment at 3 a.m., maybe the person is even sleeping safe. You don't even know. Maybe the person is even sleeping and you already got a DM. That's automation. Okay, if you go to LinkedIn now, do you think everyone that is replying all your comments on LinkedIn is actually reading the comments one by one? No, most of them have automated it. So that's automation. Your workflow is just the plan. Your automation is just the running engine. That's the plan in action. Now, let me make another analogy to make it out, because I'm going to break it down for you guys for you to understand. I don't want anybody to come after this class and say you don't understand anything. I'm trying to come to the lowest level I can to actually break this thing down. Let's say in your morning routine, wake up, brush your teeth, pray, take your bath, eat breakfast, go to your work. Now, that is your workflow. It's your plan. Now, let's say these days now, some homes have some smart homes that wakes you up with a music, turns on your light, starts the shower. Do you know that there are some home right now, just have to speak to it and the light will on. Siri, turn the light on. Bam, light will come up. Siri, off the light. Bam, light will go off. That's just it. That's automation. Let me tell you guys a crazy story of it's not actually now, it has happened a few years back, not now. I think it was during COVID. Yeah, it was during COVID. So that day I went to MTN office to do a welcome back. So during COVID, you have to use nose masks, you have to wash your hands, use sanitizer, stuff like that. So that day, I have put soap in my hand. That's their liquid soap. Now, I got to the tap. I'm just like I kept pressing, that tap handle. I was just, oh God, where will I press for water to come out? I was confused. And someone just washed his hand and just left right now. And I don't even know where to press for water to come out. I was like, "Omo." And I don't want to ask for help because I was shy. Maybe don't think I'm a village guy. And it's true. That was the first time I knew something like that exists. I don't want to shame myself. So, and like I was just there, just looking for long until when the security actually came to me. I was like, is there any problem? I told him, Omo, I don't know where to tap for water to come out. He was like, just put your hand on that. and water will start coming out. I say, Jesus Christ, poverty is a bastard. That was few years back. Oh, that was so long. Immediately I put my hand and water was coming out. That's automation. If I don't put my hand, will water come out? Water won't come out. Now, me putting my hand under that tap is what triggered that tap to bring out water. That's just it. Something must trigger your workflow. Me putting my hand under that tap is what triggered that tap to bring out water. There are some hotels now that if you lodge, you don't even need to press anything. Water, just stay under the shower and water will start coming out. Whether you want, in fact, some hotels are using buttons. No, if you go to all these expensive hotels, they're using buttons. If you want hot water, press hot. If you want cold, press cold. That's automation. How does it work? Automation. Nowadays, if you want to go to people, just some hotels now, you use card. Just put your card. Once you put your card, lights will on. That's automation. So it's not only we even in it's not only in tech that they use automation, even in the physical world, they use automation for day-to-day activities. So automation is the process running by itself. Now, what is an AI agent? What is an AI agent? AI agent is where automation becomes so intelligent because automation follow fixed rule. Do you guys understand? It's what you tell automation to do, that's what it will do. If you tell automation that when A happens, let's do B. But you see, AI agent can think, can decide, and can respond differently based on the situation on ground. Now, let me make this analogy again. Imagine you hire two workers. Worker one is your automation. You tell him that every time a customer orders food, send them a thank you message. He will do it very perfectly, but he can't think. Even if someone says cancel my order, he will still say thank you for ordering. But you see, AI agents, you train him to read messages, you train him to understand context, you train him on the best response he's going to give to customers. If customer says cancel my order, he knows the right response to give to that customer. If customer says how much are you selling this, he knows the best price to give to that customer. If some customer says good job, he knows how to do what the next response is supposed to say. So an AI agent doesn't follow automation. It doesn't follow fixed rule. It follows everything, all your FAQs, everything you have in your data, it reads them, it thinks about it, and know the best answer to give. Very intelligent. That's when you start building your AI customer support chatbots, you start understanding how to use AI agents for your what's called for building these particular workflows. And it's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. Because why am I trying to differentiate these three things? Is because when you start working with clients, you hear them saying things like, we want to automate our lead generation, we want to create an AI assistant, we want to design a workflow. If you don't understand the difference between these three things, you just mix everything up. When they say automation, they mean system running. When they say AI agents, you know what they want and you know what you have to say together. And these three things works like a team. First, you have to design your workflow, which is the skeleton part of your automation. Then you automate it so that it runs automatically. Then you add intelligence so that it learns, adapt, and replies on whatever FAQs you have given it to reply on. Every advanced automation you see online, everyone, maybe a chatbot, content generation, everything follow this pattern. That's the formula behind all powerful automation system. So now that's just it about this thing. Now the next thing is for us to what's called go through the N10 interface and see how you can actually create an account on anything. It's time to get our hands dirty, and because one thing is theory without practice is just entertainment. So this section is where we actually try to do something cool. I will walk you through every single step by step until you're done. By the end of this section, you will not only have your own anything workspace ready, you will also understand how it moves and how you can actually automate um your workflow. So I'm going to share my screen now. We are going to get our hands ready. Let me anything. So let me share my screen again. So let me know if you can see my screen. So I guess you all could see my screen. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen now. And yeah. So now all you have to do is just search for anything.io. Sorry, anything. Can you guys see my screen? Yes. So I just click on anything dot io. There are two main ways to use anything. Like I said earlier, there's anything cloud, which is the self-hosted version. You don't need to install anything. Just sign up on the website, and boom, your what's called your workflow is ready. And there is the self-hosted one. That means you can run and you can install anything on your own computer and or your VPS. This one is more advanced, but later on in the bootcamp we are going to do this because this one gives you full control. But for now, for today's class, we're going to be using what's called my screen is blurry. Okay, Mazao. Please, my screen cannot be blurry, Joe. So so all you have to do now is just go to your browser. If you are with your PC, you can just follow me as we go. Just check on anything.cloud, anything.cloud or anything.io, anyone. So just click on it. So once you click on it, click on get started. So once you click on get started, yeah. I already said there's no recording. I already said from the beginning of this class that I'm not recording this class. Yeah, using anything.io, anything.io. I already said from the beginning of this class that there is no recording. So, hey, okay, is it back now, Miracle? Sorry, I think it's the network. Rain is falling right now. The network is doing shaky, shaky. Am I good now? Is the voice good now, Miracle? Are we good now? Can you all hear me now, please? Okay, my audio is good now. Okay. So let me continue the what's called. Let me continue to what's trying to say about cloud. You can just choose any random name. Let me just use it. Company email. Let me just use any random email. Let me use this. I think I've used this email before for anything cloud, but let me try it. Sorry. So let me use this Nest. Let me use Nest Academy for it. This if my voice is keeping. Please, can you all see my screen? Oh, I'm not sharing the right screen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Fuck. Fuck. I'm sorry, please. Yeah, my screen isn't moving. Please just hold on, please. So this is the N10 registration platform. So this is the N10 registration platform. Once you click on register, it's going to bring you here where you're able to sign up for your account. So can you all see my screen now? So once you click on my voice is breaking and my screen is blue. My screen is not blue. I'm back. I'm fully back now. I've done the other editings I think I need to do. So just click on start your 14 days free trial. So I'm going to go head over to the registration again. Let me just use random email. So please just follow me. I'm doing the registration. It's something very easy for you to do. Just follow me. Hey, my screen is starting. Yes, I'm currently what's called doing the registration process. So that's why you are here. So let me just finish the registration process for us to dive into um to what's called. So just fill in your details. Once you fill in your details, it's going to bring you to the Anytime platforms. Just click on register. So because I have another account, I'm not going to go through this process, but it's a very, very easy process for you to do once you go through this process. So let me just head over to the Anytime interface for you to see how the interface actually works when you sign up on anything. So I'm not going to go through the registration again because it's something I've done before. So this is the anything account I am using before. It's actually still a free trial account. So let me just wait for it to finish. Please, some of you that are complaining, please, I don't know. There are two live streams. Please head up. You guys should go back to the um horizontal, not the vertical live stream. Please, I heard some of you are using. What's wrong with my network? Okay, so here is how the what's called the N10 workflow looks like when you sign up on their platforms. Screen is still blurry. Please, you guys should go back to the vertical, not the vertical what's called. I don't know why this live stream is splitting into two. There's another live stream that has the vertical what's called. I don't know. So once you've registered and you've done all those kind of stuff, so let me just walk you guys through um the N10 dashboard. You just the company email is your personal email. The company email is your personal email. That's just it. So here's how the N10 dashboard works. All these big empty canvas you are seeing right here in the middle of your screen is called a canvas. This is your playground. This is where you build all your workflow. Now, all these things, think of it like a whiteboard where you draw lines between boxes, and all these boxes is what is called a node. Remember, I defined what a node is earlier, and each node performs one task like sending an email, getting data, or what's called saving something to Google Sheets. You can drag, connect them here visually, no code and no stress. And this node panel, the plus here, I hope you guys are following me. I can't zoom in. So the plus here is where you have all your node buttons. This is your trigger on app event. So this plus button, you see a lot of apps and tools, Gmails, Google Sheets, Telegram, Slack, OpenAI, your HTTP request, your trigger, a lot of them. So this is just like your own toolbox. Whenever you want to come connect any app, all you have to do is click on the plus button here and you come here and pick any app. Let's say I want to send a Gmail node. I'll just come here and click on the Gmail node. Can you see we have Gmail, we have Google Gemini, like a whole lot of them, Figma. You even have Figma here, we have Telegram, we have a lot of them, CRM, Hugging Face, stuffs like that. So just click on the Gmail node, just click on the Gmail node, and you can actually pick the Gmail node. From there, you can pick maybe whenever this was called trigger. Whenever any message enters, this is going to trigger um your workflow. And also, if you want to talk to ChatGPT, You can just search for Open AI, Open AI here, and once you connect what's called your stuff like that, it's just that's just how it works. This is where your toolbox is. Don't worry, when we start building automation workflows, when we go deeper, you understand what each of these nodes do. And the top bar is your control panel. So this is where you share your workflow, and this is where you save your progress, and also this is where you can actually name your workflow. You can just click on it to rename your own project. You can name it like any project you want to name it. You can also see a toggle button here. So this toggle button has, whenever you build a workflow in a testing stage, you don't turn it on. So until when you are done and you are sure your workflow is ready to go live, just turn it on and your workflow will go live, that you don't even need to interfere. But when it is inactive, you have to come and trigger it first. But when it is live, you don't need to trigger it. It will just go like that. To run automatically. And also on the right side here is where you have the node I told you earlier, and also like everything is here, your parameters, everything, blah blah stuff like that. And here on the bottom is where you have your execution logs. So what this execution log is, sometimes when you test any workflow, anything will always show a log here, and this log it will actually tell you whether your workflow succeed or it didn't succeed, and it will tell you how long the workflow took and what type of data actually comes out. So this are on what's called log here is actually like your report card. It helps you know whether your steps worked as expected. And also, here is where you have a variety of templates. There are a lot of people that have done the work for you, but I won't even go to this now because when I go to this, a lot of you are very, very lazy. Start using templates. But one thing is, if you start using templates, you won't understand how what's called um, automation works. Now, in every automation, in every workflow, in every workflow, my screen is blurry as hell. Please, you guys should use the highest quality. Please, you guys should use the highest quality. Okay, I came from the second one. Please, you guys should use the highest quality. Please. So, in every workflow, there is a trigger node. Please, there's a trigger node. Now, this trigger node starts the workflow. There are a lot of trigger nodes. There is Gmail. Each node, each AI apps has their own trigger node. Gmail has its own trigger node. Now, like for Gmail now, let me search for Gmail. For Gmail now, its own trigger node can be whenever you receive a mail, trigger this workflow. So this is Gmail's trigger. So this Gmail's trigger. Now, what this trigger actually does is whenever a new mail is submitted, trigger this workflow. A trigger is what starts your automation. If your automation does not have a trigger, your automation cannot work. A trigger is what starts your automation. If your automation does not have a trigger, your automation won't work. Now, we also have the action node. The action node are what actually happens after your trigger node triggers the workflow. Let's say your trigger node is when someone fill a form. Now, when someone fills a form, what do we expect that workflows to do? Those are the action node. We also have the logic node. Now, this logic node helps you to make decision helps you to make decision that if this happens, what should we do? If this emails contains an invoice, what should we do? If it's actually this, do otherwise. So once you master these three things, your trigger node, your action node, and your logic node, it will be very, very easy for you to actually build any workflow. Any workflow. So if you already have signed up, I don't know, maybe any one of you is practicing, just go there, explore the interface, and see how it works. Now, before we continue, there are some of the common mistakes most beginners make when it comes to building workflow. When it comes to building workflow, and and I want you guys to actually avoid them, because most of you will make all these small, small mistakes. Now, the first one is some people forget to add notes, but they don't connect them. If you don't connect your notes together, they won't run. If I don't connect note A to note B, it will run. Now, if you don't check the output to see what is bringing out, hmm, you might just be doing rubbish. And also, hmm, you see this thing I'm about to say now. There was a time in my early stage of this career, I built. In fact, it's not even in my early stage. Even up to now, I still do that kind of mistake because you see, anything is just like Microsoft Word. Okay, I think Microsoft Word has a feature that when you type a document and you forget to save, you can still come back to it. But anything, hmm, if you spend hours building a workflow, bro, and you didn't save it, what's law? It is gone. So please, after editing any workflow, make sure you save, because anything doesn't save by default except if you actually set it to auto save. But don't worry now, when you build workflow for 5 hours and you didn't save, I know it's going to teach you lesson on what you need to do. So now, after all this being said, let's get our hands dirty. Let's build a workflow and actually see how it works. Now, remember I said in any workflow starts with a trigger. Any workflow in this life starts with a trigger. Now, let's say um, I want to create a form, the attendance form for this bootcamp. Let me see if can, let me create a custom form. Let's go to Lovable. Let me create a custom form. You guys should hold on, please. Let me create a custom form for this bootcamp so that you guys could actually see a custom form bootcamp, because everyone is going to create an assignment. You lost over 24 hours workflow build because you didn't save. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, it happens. So let me just sign out and log in. So, so now we want to start an automation, and this automation I want to do is I want to create an attendance sheet it for this particular class. Whenever you fill in form that you can use to build your own form, but I'm not using the N10 form for now. I want to use my own personal form for this particular what's called for this particular workflow. So let me create a custom form for myself. Um, I need to create. I hope you all can see my screen. I need to create an attendance form link for my bootcamp, and here are the details. Here are the details I want it to have: name, name, email, phone number, and what you learned, what you learned today. And I want a submission button for it. And I also want, now, remember I said each workflow starts with a trigger node. Now, for this workflow I want to build, I want to start my own trigger node with a webhook request. With a what? With a webhook request. That is, whenever someone fills that form, it will trigger my workflow. So just go to the node panel and just click on webhook. Now, in webhook, you have to make sure that anywhere you are pointing your workflows to, you must be pointing it to this webhook URL, right? You must be pointing it to this webhook URL, right? So now I'm just going to copy the webhook URL and just paste it to our lovable. So I also want the submission button to point to this webhook, webhook, webhook URL post. Sorry, I have to change this to post to this post URL, and let's see what Lovable has for us. Let's see the form we have in. So it's currently creating our form for us, and let me see what we are having. Please, can you all hear me? Miracle, please, can you hear me? So we are currently building a form. Yes, Lovable is different from anything. Lovable is different from anything. I'm the reason why I'm using Lovable is I want to create a custom form for my workflow. That's why I'm using Lovable. So you can also use the anything built in form, but I always love something unique and beautiful. So that's why I'm using Lovable. So let's see what Lovable has for us for this what's called for this form. So it's still building our form for us. It's still building. Let's see what it's implementing. So done. Our form is, let's see what we have. So Lovable has built our form for us. Can you see the form? So let me just, so this is the form Lovable built for us. And this is the form we are using for our anything bootcamp. So can you all see the attendance form that I just built using any Lovable? Now, so once we are done with the form and you've also posted our webhook URL to submit to our workflow. So I'm now going to head over back to anything, and I'm going to listen for text events to hear what anything is going to. give us. And let me fill the form. Let me fill the form. Jokote Emmanuel. And let me use um no, let me use this. Yes. So what I learned today, I learned a lot. So let me submit the attendance. Now, I just submitted the attendance, and can you see we already have our form here? Can you see the details I just filled right now? You can use Google Forms also, but Google Form, there's a way you have to connect your webhook to Google Form using App Script. You have to use App Script to connect Google Form to what's called to anything. So now our details is here already. These are the form I filled. These are the form I filled. My name, manager to system, blah 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 stuff like that. And I learned a lot. Submitted at so time. So now, because there are a lot of data coming in, I'll have to use the set node to actually get the important things I need from my webhook. Don't get confused. Don't get confused. What this why I'm using the set node is because I only need four things from now we have a lot of output here, a lot of output, and I don't need all of them. All what I need is my body, the name, the email, phone number, and what he learned and submitted that. So I'm going to just drag it. That's the data we have here. Drag it here. That's the first thing we have. Then add another field. Sorry. Then add another field. Drag it here again. Then have another field. Drag it here again. Then add another field and drag it here again. And that's all. Then I can, if I want to make it more personalized, I can put the time when he or she submitted this data. And when you execute this step, can you see this is the only four things I have in my workflow, in my output data, compared to all these pools of output data I have here. But here, this only what I have here in this output data. You guys should not get confused. You guys should not get confused. So now, this is what I only have here in this output data. This is my input and this is my output. And why I'm using this edit field here is because I have a lot of data coming in and I don't need all of them. I only need five things. That's the name, the email, the phone number, and the learnings and dates which the person submitted their attendance. That's why I'm using this edit field node. And once I'm done with that edit field node, I can create a Google Sheet where my data is going to be uploaded. I can create a new Google Sheet where this data is going to be uploaded. Or if I wish, I can send them an email. But let's create a Google Sheet for it first, where our leads are going to be um, uploaded. So now for you to use the Google Sheets first, you have to connect your anything account. It's very easy. Once you click on as me, I want to be connected now, just click on sign in with Google. Once you click on sign in with Google, you interact to connect to any anything account you want to connect to, and you're just good to go. So that's just it about this. So I'm just going to I'm just going to connect my LinkedIn account to it. So just click on continue. So I'm going to create a Google Sheet. So I'm going to create a Google Sheet for this particular what's called um, workflow. So um, this is the Google Sheet where we are storing all the leads into. So I'm just going to create a blank spreadsheet for you guys to see. And this blank spreadsheet is going to have now what do we have here in our notes? What do we have here? Okay, let me we have the name, we have email, we have the phone number, we have the learnings, and we also have the submitted ad. So these are what we are going to be putting in our column here. The first one we have is the name. Then we also have the email. Then we also have the phone number, and we also have the learnings, and we also have the date of submission. That's just it. Then let me just rename what's called our spreadsheet. Let me just use it. Let me just use bootcamp, bootcamp attendance, and that's just it. So now I've created a Google Sheet already for my workflow. I'm too fast. Okay, let me take it slowly. Let me take it slowly. Some people are saying I'm too fast. So now, after I've created a Google Sheet for where we are storing, uh, someone said this thing is not fun. It's very simple, like very very simple for real. Don't be lost. Don't be lost. Now, after I've created a Google Sheet already, this is the Google Sheet I created where I'll be storing everyone that filled the form. Remember, we've created a form already. And now, everyone that filled that form, we want all their details to be coming into this Google Sheet. That's why I created this Google Sheet document. Now, after creating this Google Sheet document, all the next thing I have to do is come here back to my Anything node. Remember, I added the Google Sheets node here, and the what's called the logic I gave it is whenever someone fills this form, it should append all their details in a new row. So now I'm going to choose the what's called the document I want to upload the details, which is the bootcamp attendance. I'm also going to choose the sheet number. Now, if you notice from our sheet, from our Google sheet, how many columns do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns in our Google sheet, right? Now, if you come here back to our workflow, can you see the sheet we have in our Google sheet? It is back here already in our Anything node. The name, the email, the phone number, the learnings, and the date of submission. Very easy. So it's all the notes that are in our, it's all the details that are in our Google Sheet. That's what anything fetch out for us. And the only thing you have to do now is just to drag and drop. Now, remember in our input, we have the name. And this is where the name input is. All I have to do is to drag it and bring it to where name is located. And the email also, all I have to do is to drag it and bring it where email is located. And for the phone number, all I have to do is to drag it and bring it to where phone number is. And for the learnings, all I have to do is to drag it and bring it to where the learning is. And for the date of submission, all I have to do is to drag it. Very simple. All you have to do is just drag and drop. There is no magic here. We have already created a Google Sheet already. And anything that has helped us fetch all the rows in our Google Sheet, all we have to do is to append, drag our input, and drag it to this column, drag our input, drag it to this column, drag our input. Because one thing is, if I remember I said your note must be connected together. If this Google Sheet is not connected to this input, it's not going to come out. So, and we have already dragged and dropped. And when I click on execute step, immediately I click on execute step, all these details are going to go back to our Google Sheet. Execute step. Can we see? So now let me go back to our Google Sheet. Can you see the details I just filled right now in our Google Sheet? Very simple. Now, imagine if I have to copy this one by one. This is what I just filled just now. Very, very simple. Very simple. So that's just how it works. Now, if I want to expand this workflow, now If I want to expand this workflow right here, if I want to expand this workflow right here, I can even let them send a Gmail message that, okay, I can add the Gmail node, I can add the Gmail node and just use the send a message node. Now, when I click on send a message node, I've already connected my Gmail account. I taught you how to connect your account using the Google Sheet. It's still the same process. Just connect, and it's going to automatically connect your what's called Google account. Now, the operation is to send a message, send a mail. Now, who are we sending that mail to? That is why we have the tool that is here. Who are we sending that message to? And the email is what we are dragging here. That's just it. And who are we? What is the subject of the mail we are trying to send? And the subject we are trying to send is attendance received. That's all. And what is the email type? Your email type can be a text, your email type can be an HTML. But for this, we are going to be using text. And what message am I putting? I'm just going to write hello. You can even make it more personalized that you can even drag the person's name to it. Just click on hello. Sorry, hello. Drag the person's name. Thank you for thank you for attending day 2 of our bootcamp. Your attendance have been received. Yours sincerely, Ness Academy. That's just it. And when I click on execute, it's going to send me a mail. Can you see? Success. It has sent me. Now let me go to my Gmail and see what I just sent right now. Let me go to my Gmail. Now, can you see the message I just received that just now? 0 minutes ago. Hey, Jokuto Emmanuel, thank you for attending the 12-hour bootcamp. Your attendance has been received. That's just it. That's just it. It's very easy. Just connect and drop. Let me come again. Our workflow starts with a trigger, which is the webhook request. And because we are having a lot of data here, we are having too much of data here, which is from here. We don't need all these things that we are seeing here. We don't need all of them. That's why I'm using this edit node. Now, what this edit node does is we only need 5 important fields that we only need to pass to the next node. We don't want to pass all this yama yama to the next node. We only need 5 things to pass to the next node. That's why we are using this edit feed. And for this append to a Google Sheet, and because we need to store this lead to a Google Sheet, that's why we are using append to a Google Sheet. That's why we are using append to a Google Sheet. And the reason why we are using send a message is for us to be able to send what's called a message. See, one thing is it's going to look confusing at first, but when you get your hands dirty and start building, you what's called you understand better. But it's as easy as this. Very, very easy as this. Someone said all the class is lost. As how I'm doing my best to break it down that even a 10-year-old can understand. So why is everyone lost? Why are you lost? Why are you guys lost? I don't understand. What's happening? Why are you lost? You guys should not be lost too. Why are you lost? It's not hard. You guys can't see. Jesus Christ. Hey. The skin is blurry. It's because see, you guys should change it to 720p. It's going to become out well. It's because most of you are using for 360p or 480p. That's why the skin is blurry. You guys should change to 720p. It's actually at the highest resolution ever. I put it at 1080p. That's why it's actually blurry. So now I have let me come again for the last time. Our offload started with a webhook request. This webhook is what is going to start this workflow. If nobody submitted a form, this webhook won't start. And the reason why we are using this edit field here is because we have a lot of fields of data coming in from our webhook, all these hosts, user agents, and we don't need them. We don't want them to continue to our next workflow. What this edit feed does is anything you don't want it to go to the next node, you sort it out. You filter them out. That's what this edit feed does. And that's why I only extracted five of these what's called field, what we need, which is the name, the email, the phone number, the learning, and the date of submission. And after we've extracted all these things, I created a Google Sheet where we store all this information into. And one thing is, Google Sheet is going to automatically fetch all the columns in your Google Sheet. Anything is going to automatically fetch all the columns there. Now, after that, you click on you connect the Gmail node and you submit. You map the data. This two here is who we are sending the email to, and the subject. This is not the first time most of you are sending email. Subject of the email, attendance received, and this is the message, and we are done. That's just it. Okay, okay. You know what will happen? I'll drop the recording again for you guys to. But the recording is just going to be available just for 24 hours. After 24 hours, I'm going to take it down. It's not after 24 hours. I'm going to take the video down. After 24 hours, I'm using a laptop. I'm not using tablet. I'm using a laptop. So now I want you guys to actually see what I built. So I'm going to drop the link to the attendance sheets for you guys to fill it, and you guys are going to get a mail just for you guys to know how automation is. So let me just get the live webhook URL. That's the production URL. In webhook URL, that's what starts your webhook. We have the test URL, we have the production URL. The only difference between the test URL and the production URL is that test URL when you are still building a workflow. Production URL is when you are done and you don't have any corrections to make. That's when you're going to use the production URL. And it's as simple as that. So now I'm going to go back to Lovable and ask it to what's called point my webhook to change my webhook to my production URL. Change webhook to production URL. So let's see what's called um Lovable is going to do for us. So let's wait for Lovable to finish updating our what's called to our what's called landscape. I don't understand. Why is this video is not on portrait now? This my screen is on landscape. As how? I'll drop the recording. I'll drop the recording of the class so you guys can just go through it. So let me check if Lovable is done. So Lovable is done with our project. It has what's called finished our webhook to our what's called to the um website. So let me just copy the link and let me activate our workflow for it to go live. So let me copy the link. Let me copy the link. So you guys should use this attendance. So I just dropped the link. So I just dropped the link. Please, you guys should use the link. Check the description of the video. I just dropped the link of the attendance sheet. I just dropped the link in the attendance sheet. I just dropped the link to the attendance sheet. Has anyone filled the link? You can't click on the link. Okay, let me drop it on Telegram, please. And I'm going to be deleting it after. I'll just use a coded message and I'll be deleting the link immediately after this class. That's the attendance sheet for this class. So I just dropped the link. Everyone should go and fill the form and let's see if it's going to work. I just dropped the link on Telegram now. So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I just dropped the link on Telegram. So those that fill the link, do you got a mail? Check your mail if you got a mail. Check your mail if you got a mail. Check your mail if you got a mail. If you fill the link, do you get a mail? Do you all got a mail? That's just it. That's just so wait. Because I said I'm going to drop the recording. This everyone left. Okay, no Allah. I know what to do. So you all got a mail. That's easy as it is. Now, assignment. Before I start answering questions, assignment. Everything we have built here right now, all of you should go and do it again and post what you build on Twitter and tag me. Everybody should go and build everything you've done. Well, you're going to build a form. You're going to store the leads in Google Sheets. Exact thing I build here, you're going to do it again. Build it and post on LinkedIn or Twitter and tag me. And also, that's the see all these things we are building. As I'm building, you're also building your portfolio so that whenever you're done with this class, you will now start looking for portfolio to show to clients. Now, in what you are what's called in what you are posting, I want a 1 minute Loom video of the workflow. You're going to explain the workflow and the results, what it is solving and the results. So it's possible to tag me. It's not possible to tag me. It's possible. Just tag me. My LinkedIn is Joke to Emmanuel. My Twitter account is Automation King Zero. So that's just it. So because we might end this live stream now. So that's just it. I'm going to drop the recording after immediately after this class for you guys to have access to it. So now before that, make sure you share what you've learned on. See, I'm like the reason why I'm keep doing this for you guys to go on Twitter and post what you've learned. Hmm. I don't want you guys to do the same mistake I did. It's better for you guys to start building early now. Start showing yourself out there. Not that when you are start looking for job, that's when you start posting out there. It's going to be very, very hard. Start pushing yourself out there now, now, now. Start posting. So if I were you now, after tonight class, I'll go and share what I have learned and tag me or tag baby, and we're going to retreat. So that's just it for tonight. Whew. A long 2 hour sections. Wow. So that's just it. We've built a simple automation and that's just it. See, one thing is if you understand the basics, you can scale it to anyhow you want to scale it. So don't rush it. Just practice again and again. Click around, try new notes, and test random ideas. Now, let me show you guys something. Let's see. Let me see the leads you guys just submitted. Can you guys see all your details here in this Google Sheet? Can you see? Can you see all your details here in this Google Sheet? Imagine, imagine the stress I have to pass through if I have to what's called manually copy all these leads one by one. So can you all see the leads in all the Google Sheets? All the data is just filled. That's just it about automation. Easy PC is oh if I want to build it, this thing will even you saw your name, right? Did I went there to start typing everything one by one? No. I I I I I not even know who filled or who did not fill except I start going through the data. Everything is working automatically behind. That's just it. This is the automation yes, this is the one we did tonight for the attendance sheet. This is the one we did tonight for the attendance sheet. So it stored the lead in a Google Sheet. You also send a mail. You know that this particular workflow, you can build it for someone and you get paid up to $300 to $400. This workflow I just built within 30 minutes. All those guys that used to have a website to run ads. In fact, do you know I can scale this workflow that the number you submitted, I can scale it that you're going to also get a WhatsApp message on your WhatsApp account. Have you ever filled a form on your website? You filled your number and you got a WhatsApp message. That's automation. So that's just it. You guys have learned a lot. I'm exhausted right now. I'm exhausted, bro. 2 hours. So that's just it. So I hope I was able to do enough justice tonight. I know some people left the live after. Some people even left since. I know. I know. I'm. I'm. I'm actually watching all of you. You guys don't know I'm watching. Those people that are posting on X. Don't think I'm not looking at you. I'm watching everyone. I swear to God. You guys are doing well. You guys are doing well. I really love. Some people are doing well. I don't want to mention this, but you guys are doing well. Lovable is not an app, Lillian. my runaway P. Lovable is not an app. Lovable is a website. You can build websites using Lovable. You can build a lot with Lovable. That's why, in fact, I love building forms using Lovable. So now, see how many times, if I want to build this form now, coding, you know how many hours I have to spend coding it to build this form. But Lovable did it for us. Why webhook? The reason why I'm using webhook is because I want to use an external form. But if I want to use internal anything, I don't need a webhook. Webhook is the one that starts the automation. Remember, I said your automation has three important things. Your trigger. If your trigger is not there, your automation is not going to work. If your trigger is not there, your automation is not going to work. So your trigger is what makes your automation to actually work. Will I teach you how to land gigs? Hmm. I can't promise that, but I'll try my best. I can't promise that. Just stay active. See, one thing about me is I talk a lot. Sometimes I want to gatekeep informations, but I won't even know when I start releasing the informations I want to gatekeep. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to actually attend classes. The way it flows, that's just it. In fact, tonight I didn't even think I didn't plan that I'm going to use Lovable for this form tonight. I didn't even plan that I'm going to build a form tonight. But as the spirit leads, yes, if you're using Google Form, you don't need webhook. You can also use if you're using Google Form, you need a webhook because you need to add an app script. That's where your code is going to come. Any form. You can even use Zoho forms, CRMs. Lot of forms. One thing is the more you build, the more challenges you face, the more you learn. I think I made a tweet, was it yesterday or 2 days ago that okay, it was last week that anything is not about watching automation is not about watching videos. It's about executing. If I were you now, what I just learned tonight, if I'm tired, I can come back to it first thing tomorrow morning and practice and build and practice. So if you don't submit your assignment, forget about next class. Your assignment, I'm very, very serious about that assignment and my attendance because I can't imagine having over almost 400 students. Is it for almost 400 students? And I only have 150 people in class. Like, well, I understand. A lot of people show interest, but not everyone will be able to attend. And the best thing you can do is to actually filter those that didn't attend out. So make sure you fill the attendance sheet. And I'm going to see you guys in my next class. I can't wait to see you guys in my next class. This one a lot of you are saying. And for the screen sharing, I'm going to see how I can actually do better in our next what's called class. I'm going to do our next class for the screen sharing. The reason why the screen sharing is blurry is because I think the video is in vertical mode, not horizontal. I think that's why. So I hope I did justice tonight and you learned something, learned a lot. Make sure you filled an assignment and you're submitting an assignment tomorrow because this thing is very, very simple. It's something that shouldn't take you one hour. Maybe because you are just learning 1 hour at most. So you're submitting the assignment tomorrow. I'm tired for you. I'm exhausted. I'm still having a meeting immediately after this class. I have two meetings tonight again. So the assignment, I've dropped the assignment. I'm still going to send it again to the for you guys to do the assignment. Yeah, I'm going to type out the assignment on the group. So I'm going to please Miracle, please open the group. Share your reviews on the group, share what you've learned. Go to Twitter, share what you've learned. Go to LinkedIn, share what you've learned, tag me, and let's call it a night. Thank you very much, everyone. Tomorrow, um, tomorrow's class is starting by 5 p.m. I think, right? So it's starting by 5 p.m. Blessing is not simple. Why? I don't understand. It's simple. Because tomorrow's class is starting by 5 p.m. Tomorrow we are going to, because I'm combining two classes tomorrow. I don't know yet, but I will get back to you guys tomorrow. And see, Saturday classes, you guys should get ready. Except if you want me to gatekeep. But if you don't want me to gatekeep, if you want me to be free, it's not because I have meeting. I feel extend this class to to daddy calls till midnight. I've done a class before. There was a day, well, my last bootcamp, we were building a one complex automation. We started from 8 o'clock and we ended that call around 1 a.m. in the midnight. Those that left, left. Some people slept, wake up, and still met us while building. So, there are some times when I'm building, I can just drop live stream for you guys to see how I build live. And you guys just saw how I build this simple workflow live. So that's just it. That's just it. You're all welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. I hope you all learned something. And my assignment, my attendance, very important. Oshekuko, Oshekuko. Please, I'm going to drop a form. In my last slide, I said if you stay in Ibadan, I would love to have a physical class with my people in Ibadan. I'm going to drop a form this week for those in Ibadan to drop to put in their details and let's see what I can plan um for you guys. So I'm going to see you guys in my next class. Thank you for coming. See you guys. Bye for now. Oh.